In this video, Jerry gets a new rifle. I bought a Savage Axis 308. It's just the Axis 2 XP. It was a recommendation by Kenny with Eagle Eye Shooting. Told me I wouldn't be sorry, and this is after the fact, and no, I'm not sorry. I've made some modifications to the rifle since I've gotten it, but this video I do a little shooting. I'd like to say thank you Classic Firearms for having such an awesome deal. Thank you Savage for having the $75 rebate, which tipped the scales of me buying this. Wasn't ready for a 308. I planned on maybe getting one next year, but with the price that Classic was offering and the $75 rebate the Savage was offering, I couldn't see not doing it, and it was really a killer price. This came with a scope. Yesterday I bought a new scope and I had it mounted, and we'll see how that does in future videos. So to the video. Just got home and had to stop at my local gun store, who's my FFL for transfers, and I'm going to get my new adoption. It's poor wayward soul. It needed a good home, and you know, being the Christian man that I am, I just decided I'd give it a new home. This is, get this open. I've not had it out of the box yet. We only had it open just to check the serial number. This is the Savage Axis 2 XP in 308. This is my, believe it or not, this is my first 308. And it's only my second Savage that I've ever had. The Savage 2 comes with the little different stock. Okay, it's got a removable spacer if you need to reduce your length of pull. It's got quite a generous recoil pad for 308. I'm going to appreciate that. So let me get the oh, and it came with a 3-9 Bushnell scope, 3-9 by 40. Yep, this has got the same reticle as my other Bushnells do. The bullet drop compensating reticle. So I'm going to get the rest of it out because it ships without a bolt. So let me get that out. This doesn't ship with a bolt. It has a chamber flag. It says removed before use. Yeah, I hope so, because you'd never get the bolt in. And it comes with the bolt removed. Put that. Okay, to get the bolt in, I was with the OKs again. This takes 3 hands. I don't know why Savage designed it this way, but you got to pull the trigger, push down on the mechanism, and it still doesn't want to go in. It did a minute ago. I've been trying to practice with this, but for some reason, this is just, there it goes. Okay, we have the bolt in, and to get it out, it's the same way. You push the trigger down, you pull this, and then the bolt comes out, but kind of a pain. It is really a smooth bolt, though, for being brand new. Never having a shot fired. You can feel it kind of hesitate when it goes to unlock, but for that much, you know. Okay, so it's got the bolt is outside of the firearm. Got your moped lock. Yay, another one. and your instructions. This is a 4+1 magazine. I actually like this magazine a little bit better than I do the compass. It's spring-loaded and it's separate, where the compass is just a plastic piece, and this is metal. So 4+1 in 308, that's not bad, and it just clips right in. Boy, that, I'll tell you, that is a lot nicer than my compass. It's very positive, and it pops right back out as soon as you touch the button. So I like that magazine better as far as ease of insertion and removal. I like the compass because it's 5 round, but can't have everything. Okay, we are going to try and get out to the range tomorrow. I bought some ammunition. It's M80 military, 7.62 by 51. Oh yeah, Savage also gives you a nice target. It says send us your best shot. I guess after you get it all sighted in and everything, see what your best 3-shot group is. I haven't really read through it or anything. And again, the scope is a Bushnell Banner 3-9. The only difference between this 3-9 by 40 Bushnell and the one that's on my compass, which if you saw my last video or next to last video, you'll see that it was damaged. It's got a illuminated reticle. This one doesn't. Same crosshairs. I'll see if I can get a picture of that and put that in, roll it in. The rings look about the same as what my compass rings are. So yeah, we'll get see if we can get out to the range tomorrow. This may be the last chance we have. Now I'm gonna, you see, lighting's kind of bad in here. I have a big gap on this side of the rings and a very small gap, so I'm going to loosen these rings. I'm going to make sure that my scope is level, and I'm going to tighten everything down, get them even. When you put your scopes on, you want to have your gaps on both sides of your rings the same. Otherwise you can get some torque on your scope and throw your accuracy off. So we'll see if tomorrow may be our last day to get out to the range. Weather's closing in. It's winter time. And I also want to check, make sure, yeah, it's free floated. Make sure that I get this thing sighted in before winter gets here. And we'll go over this a little bit more tomorrow. We're out at the range. This will probably be my last opportunity for the fall season before winter hits. It's pretty gray. It's only 45 degrees out here today. Winter's coming. I got my Savage Axis 2 XP 308 and with the Bushnell 3-9 by 40 dusk to dawn scope. It's like I said in my last clip, it does not have the illuminated reticle, but it's still pretty clear. We're going to shoot at 50 yards this first shot. What I have for my first shots is this Ammo Inc. This is Milsurp 762 by 51 brass. It comes loosely loaded. These don't look very pretty. They've got a lot of spots and things, but this is Lake City brass, and this right here is 2018. I had some others that I went through that were 2017. Yeah, this is an 18. But Lake City brass is, everybody knows, pretty good stuff. These 149 grain M80 full metal jacket. I figure for initiating my first shots that this would be the best bet. I was really lucky. I got this at Sportsman's Warehouse. It comes loose packed, nothing fancy in here. It is Lake City. Like I said, it comes in this nice little handy ammo can, and it was only $69.99 for 125 rounds. I call that a pretty good win. That comes out to what, 57 cents or something like that. I haven't done the math, but I've taken the bolt out. I've done a bore sight. I'm only at 50 yards, so if you're going to bore sight,
it's best to do it 25 to 50 yards. I figure 50 yards and we'll call it a day. All I want to really do is get some brass generated and see if we can't get on target. So I'll put the bolt back in. I've got the scope adjusted fairly close. I'm seeing the target through the bore, and I'm seeing it through my crosshairs pretty much equally, but I'm pretty sure that being these are my first shots, I'll probably be off, I don't know, inch or two, maybe 3 inches, but we'll go from there. Okay, so to get the bolt in, pull the trigger, and this has the Accurate trigger. It's a fully adjustable. I haven't adjusted it. I plan on getting a trigger pull scale, and I'll adjust this down to probably 3 pounds. That's where I feel most comfortable. You pull the trigger back, you push the lever forward, and then the bolt goes home. So it's kind of a hokey way to do it. To get the bolt out, you got to pull the trigger, push the lever down. Okay, there we go, and it comes out. And it's a little stiff right now, but this is still a brand new rifle. Never had a shot through it. I'm going to do it Chico wise. I'm going to leave my stickers on here. Since I just, since I just got this yesterday, and I had to rag my buddy Chico about this. Go over and check Chico Wise out. He's a pretty good guy, and he's got a lot of really good, interesting ideas. He's doing a lot of casting and reloading, and he just got into 308. He's got a Ruger Predator, and so we're gonna kind of go back and forth with each other and see which ones work best, see what our flaws and see what our advantages are on each one, and we'll get back to you on that probably next spring. Chico is living in the dirty South in Georgia, and he can shoot through the winter. Like I say, by next week, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a foot of snow here. We've got a storm coming in, and I wanted to hurry and get this out before we get closed in. It's the week before Thanksgiving, and this video will probably come out after Thanksgiving, so my apologies there. And we'll see what the weather's doing by then. Maybe during the Thanksgiving holiday I'll actually get another opportunity to shoot, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's let me get some ears on and we'll get this loaded up and we'll see what happens. Okay, I've got 4 rounds loaded. These will be the first shots. I have no idea what this is going to feel like going off. It's got a very generous butt pad here, and hopefully that's going to be good. I've been shooting the 243 for so much and my 6.5 Grendel, but 308 has a little bit more recoil. It's pretty equivalent to a 30-06, and I handle 30-06 okay. I don't want to be out at the range shooting it all day long. And this one, Savage does not have a threaded barrel, so if I want to put a muzzle brake on there, I'll have to send this rifle off to a gunsmith and have the muzzle turned down and threaded for a muzzle brake. But okay, 50 yards. Let's put 4 rounds on target and let's see where I'm going to hit. Again, like I said, I have no idea what the reaction is going to be. Oh, and yesterday, last night, I took the scope off and I evened out these rings. I tightened everything down, the bases, the rings, the top rings. I got everything all tightened down, so, and torqued, so we should be okay as far as the scope. We'll see. Let's remove the safety. And let's see what we do here. No, I'm not that far off. Just a little high and right. Let's see if, yeah, no, I did it. Good job, Jerry. Like I said, this magazine comes out real easy. Okay, let's take shot number 2. Right next to the other one. Okay. Someone said that you cannot shoot 7.62 by 51 in a 308 rifle. I would urge those folks that say that to do a little research, because they're both the same caliber everybody says, oh, well, 7.62 by 51 has more power than the 308. That's not necessarily true in 308 or 7.62 by 51. It is true with 223 versus 5.56. The military 5.56 is more powerful than the 223, but it's just the opposite with 308 and 7.62 by 51. So never hesitate if you have a 308 to get 7.62 by 51. You can get some really good deals on the ammo, good milsurp. Now, like I said, these cases are ugly. I was looking here to see how the chamber's sealed. I got a little bit of, but that's okay. This is never fired brass, and until it gets fire formed, it's going to be that way. But I wanted to get these dirtiest ones out. They're scratched up and everything, and that way then I can clean them. And when I finally do get around to reloading these, then they'll be pretty. Okay, and this trigger is incredible. I haven't adjusted it, but it's really nice. Yeah, it goes off without me even thinking about it. And let me crank this up a little bit. It's grouping for not being seated in or anything. It's grouping, so I'm pretty happy with that. I am off just a few clicks. I need to go a little bit left and a little bit down, but for 50 yards, calling this a win. And this recoil pad really is forgiving. I mean, the 308's got a bit of a thump, nothing like a 338 or something like that. But I can actually shoot this and not feel like I'm going to get punished. Oh, let me put my fourth one in, and I'll go and look. That one went a little low. I think what I'm going to do, and I'm looking at this now, crank this up to 9 power. Yeah, I'm going to go over just about 3 clicks left and 2 clicks down, and we'll see if we get a better group. Okay. 3 clicks down, and that many 3 clicks left. This was my first shot. It's a little strung out. I don't know how the rifle's reacting or anything. This was my last group, and each one of these squares is about 1 inch, so I'm about 1.25 inches on that group. Once I get used to the rifle, I get it sighted in a little bit better. We'll get that down, tighten it up. 1.25 inches at 50 yards, that's not very good. That's what, almost 3 inches. So let me patch these up, and I'll get some more shooting going in, and we'll see where we're at. And we're taking a little bit of a break while some cows go across in front of our range here. We don't want to shoot anywhere around the cows. Bullet could skip and hit one of them, and I really don't want to pay a rancher $5,000 for a cow. And this is BLM land, so it's public use, and we'll wait until they mosey out, and once they get out of range and it's safe, then we will resume. Okay, this is my third group. Not the greatest. It's about 1.5 inches. We're still not getting the exact accuracy. Again, this is military brass. This full metal jacket. And once I can start reloading and my brass is fire formed, then I should start getting a lot better accuracy. So I moved the scope a little bit. Now I'm still a little bit too far right. I'm putting them still right in where the others were. At least I've moved it up. So this is, again, about 1.5 inches. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with my corners, next ones. I am kind of in a hurry. I'm looking at these clouds. They don't look the best. So let me paste these up, and we'll go and, I don't know, we'll try like this dot right here next time, and then maybe I'll try that dot or this dot. We'll try the corners next. All right, this group right here wasn't too bad. I'm still shooting over to the right. This one here, that was my best group yet, and that's within an inch both ways. So I was pretty happy at that. Then it started opening up again. I think my rifle's getting dirty. And then over here, I've got 3 here, and there's my 4th one way up here. I think I pulled that one. I'm starting to get cold. The temperature is dropping down. We're down about 37 degrees now, and it keeps going in that direction. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to just put another group in down here. We'll see what happens, and we're going to wrap this one up. We'll wait till a warmer day, and we'll take this out to 100 yards, and I'll get it fine-tuned. I made one click adjustment since I'm patterning back over to the right again, and it seems to be trending that way. And all of these here were still to the right, and this one here was actually kind of a flyer, but take that group and it's still to the right. So I'm still having trouble getting this right on the bolt, but we'll finish that out when we take it out to 100 yards. But I'm gonna shoot that bolt, that little dot right there next. This was my last group. That one right there, like I said, it nicked the red. Then I went over here, and then up here, and then up here. So I'm gonna attribute a lot of that to being cold and military ammo, but I've generated enough brass where I think when I get my dies and I start reloading for this, then I can get those tightened up a lot. Okay, we are taking the Bushnell 3-9 by 40 scope off the Ruger. We are going to be putting on a 4 to 16 by 44. That's a Cabela's Covenant 4 first focal plane. It's got what they call the TAC 32 reticle. I'll see if I can't get that in here. And I've got bought the Vortex rings. I'm not quite sure if the medium rings are necessary or if I'm going to go back to the low rings. But I'm taking this back to Cabela's tomorrow. I didn't have the rifle with me today when I bought the scope. They will mount and sorry, a lot of winter here, and I'm catching a good cold. But they will mount and bore sight it for free, and I really don't have any time. Tomorrow's my last day off for another week, so I'm going to take this down and drop it off at Cabela's and have them do all the bore sighting and everything, and we'll see how it performs. But this is my first focal plane scope. Everything I've shot in the past, except military, was second focal plane, and it's been a long time. So next spring I'll have to get used to shooting first focal plane, and the reticle is different and stuff. I'll see if I can get a screenshot of that rolled in. But anyway, this is the Savage Axis 2 XP, and let's see how it works. Alright, now we got the new scope mounted, bore sighted. Yeah, I think the medium rings worked out pretty good. Kind of glad I didn't get the low rings. These are Vortex rings, and they're pretty good. They're not bad. We'll see how this thing works out once the weather breaks, and then I can get this thing out. Oh, by the way, I adjusted the trigger, and that was one of the other things I got. I finally got a trigger pull scale, and I guessed on the trigger at about 2.5 pounds, and when I put it on the trigger gauge, it come out just slightly under 3 pounds. So that wasn't too bad of a guess. But man, I was really surprised at some of my other firearms. My
AR, it's like 6.5 pounds. And I was like, wow, that's quite a bit. So it looks like this winter I'm going to tear the trigger group apart and see if I can get that lightened up a bit. Yeah, and this is a Cabela scope. It's called a Covenant 4, first focal plane. And some people say yay, some people say nay. Well, guess we'll find out if this thing will hold up. But I figured at the discount that I got this thing for, with my wife's employee discount, yeah, it was well worth the money I spent for it. And I could have spent hundreds more and got probably about the same thing, but we'll see. Okay, now I have to go and get this in my new safe. Yeah, I got 2 safes now. Guess which one is the new one? Yeah, it's made by Browning. Let's see if I can zoom in here. And it's a combination lock where my old one was a touch pad. Okay, let's see. Has gun storage in the door and also in there, and we decided to keep some shelves in both since neither one of them are completely full. I have my rimfires and BB guns things in here, plus my 45, and then in the other one I got my 357s. I got my AR, and see, there's my AR-15 hiding back there in the back, the AR-15 upper. But that works out pretty good. Got the dehumidifier in here and things. But yeah, there's the Ruger GP100 and my old Weihrauch 357. And we'll see how things all work out. I'm still putting everything together. Thanks for watching, guys.